Hi, folks, this is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I am once again simulcast on Utizzle and Bumble. I got some interesting pictures up there, which we'll go over in a minute. Somebody doing some business with, what is that, Catholic Charities? Is that? Do you all believe that's the official mugshot? The official mugshot? Anyway, folks, we're going to enjoy some videos while people come walking into chats, and we'll see how my transmission's doing. Alrighty then? Alrighty then. Let me cut my mic off, and we'll go from there.
Democrat open borders trench single-party rule explained in under 2 minutes. 1. Flood the country with untold millions of illegals by land, sea, and air from all over the world. Enough to eclipse the populations of 36 individual U.S. states so far. 2. Prioritize the needs of these millions of non-citizens over the needs of the American citizen, with free flights, buses, hotels, meals, and phones, ensuring their loyalty to the political party that imported them. 3. Keep them in the country at all costs, even when they commit violent crime like murder and rape. Attack the language used to describe the criminals, as opposed to the criminals themselves. Slander critics as racist. 4. Ensure their privileges are made irrevocable with city and state sanctuary laws that act as population magnets. Codify permanent status and ensure non-cooperation with ICE. 5. Count the non-citizens in the census that will determine congressional apportionment in the House of Representatives. As of now, that would equal 13 extra congressional districts, a tremendous amount of electoral power. 6. Wage a massive, heavily funded lawfare campaign to change state voting laws that legalize mass mail-in ballots, no signature verification, and no proof of citizenship requirements, making it nearly impossible to prove voter fraud. 7. Lock in the permanent voting majority with campaign promises of lavish benefits and permanent privileges, enshrining generational fealty to the Democrat Party. 8. Win elections. 9. Entrenched single-party rule has been achieved. The best part? Your tax dollars are paying for it.
Heading back to the White House, Mr. Trump pledges to take swift and sweeping action to close the southern border and to deport millions of migrants here illegally.
Donald Trump's political career has been defined by his promise to deal with illegal immigration.
My administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history.
We've seen illegal border crossings drop 98%.
The southern border now, under his leadership, has the lowest number of legal crossings in the history of the United States of America.
We are the face of why there is becoming change. President Trump, thank you.
He's a man of his word.
He wants to get rid of fentanyl. He wants to make sure that we stop the killing of innocent Americans.
President Trump was able to do in 7 weeks what the Biden administration couldn't or wouldn't do in 4 years. Right now, as you and I are talking, we have the most secure border in the history of this nation.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation, but it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
But I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
President Biden's decline and its cover-up by the people around him is a reminder that every White House, regardless of party, is capable of deception. But being truth tellers also means telling the truth about ourselves. We, myself included, missed a lot of this story, and some people trust us less because of it. We bear some responsibility for faith in the media being at such lows. I say this because acknowledging errors builds trust, and being defensive about them further erodes it. We should have done better. I believe our mission is vital in a world where people are struggling to figure out what's true, and people with power are not telling the truth. I also believe that this association has been, is, and will continue to be critical to that mission. Thank you to the association's leadership for your unflinching defense of the First Amendment, not just now, but always.
Storm's on.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off. Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and HE in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. I mix up my intros sometimes just to make it interesting. Holy cow, I got to go way back. Hey, it's going way back. That's good. Todd, how you doing? Sissy, Angel, Colette, Max here, Robin's here, Benjamin. Wayne's giving me a thumbs up. Thank you, Wayne, for going by buy me a coffee. And Angel also. And I see, Gary, that will be my trifecta for the last week of the month. Andrew, nice to see you. Marie's here. Diane's here. Let's see. Darla, nice to see you. Benjamin, let's see. Anyone you miss? Yeah, I know how that is. Miss Mendersu. She's here. She's ready to roll. Brush is here. Ha flannel cheese. Let's see. Yeah. Now we're going down the line here. Wow, we got a lot of comments. Hi, Rebecca. Nice to see you. And I hope I didn't miss anybody. Roland's here. Judy's here. Kim's here. Let's see. I might hit people twice. I don't know. But anyway, folks, that was an interesting little blast from the past, wouldn't you say? And what I started off with was these two pictures. You know, want to keep people's attention when they click on the video. Before I get to my intro, let them know part of the topics I'm going to talk about. And I was asking before everybody got in, you think that mugshot on the right is real? It says, breaking official Hannah Dugan mugshot per Bureau of Prisons. BBP. Breaking official mugshot of Hannah Dugan. The judge just tried to help an illegal in a criminal. What does that say? Illegal? Alien, criminal, evade ICE. This judge was also in charge of Catholic charities, and their revenues increased 400%, while hundreds of thousands of children went missing. Is that true? Was she in charge of Catholic charities? I can't. I didn't post that, but I saw it. I took a screenshot of it. And if Obama is brave enough, we all know how brave he is, right? If he's brave enough to go, he'll face U.S. Marshals on his return. He has no authority to speak on behalf of the United States. I got an article on that. This was by somebody. Let me see. I've got all these videos. My word. Let's see. Somebody called Investigating Truth. There's elusive truths and investigating truths. Go ahead, Barry. Do it. Do it. President Trump has officially warned Obama to stay out of America's foreign affairs or else face charges for violating the Hatch Act or the Logan Act. This is after Obama made plans to visit El Salvador en route to the NATO summit in Costa Rica, which Trump was not invited to. Have you all heard any of this? Obama should already be in prison for treason. How many trips Obama made during Biden's so-called presidency? We all know the puppet master, a.k.a. Barack Obama. I meant to use that term in my thumbnail because I heard Marco Rubio say, no more puppet shows. Of course, it was when he was talking about money being spent. Puppet shows in some foreign nation, faraway nation, money being spent. He put a stop to it. But he said it more than once. No more puppets, no more puppet shows. And I think that was a little signal. What do you think? Think I'm just crazy? And let me put this in the front so you can get a picture of it. And put it on your Meta. As a matter of fact, put them both on your Meta. Here, I'll move this out of the way so you can get a screenshot. Looks like her to me. Was she trying to imitate President Trump's mugshot? She thinks she looks tough. I don't know. What do you all think? Let me see. Looks like she's constipated. A Krispy Kreme donut has lodged itself. When she saw the cops coming, she just swallowed it in one bite. Araceli, how are you, Rubber Toe? MS Motorsports, Judy. Ha ha, Miss Minnesota loves my new intro. Ha ha ha. That's good. I'm glad you like it. Sometimes I just do them by the seat of my pants. And I get ready to go up just by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Not to be late, but I was late tonight. And to my viewers on Rumble, I apologize. Because I put the time in there as 10:10. I didn't go up till 10:18 or 19. Jimmy Crickets. So, yeah, if you're on Rumble, hit the follow button. And also a thumbs up. And I will look up the definition of petard. I almost did that today, but I forgot because I don't want to be talking out of school. And that's a little bit of Rumble talk. Hi, Ronald. Nice to see you. Finding Dory. Where have you been? You've been taking a break from all the stuff. Oh, I understand. I understand, Dory. But you're back now. We can have some fun. Ha ha ha. That's what we're going to do. Have some fun. Let's see. I got these clips and they're all stuffed in here. And I don't know up from down, one from another. But I tell you what, Trump went, he had his 100-day celebration. And, you know, immigration is what they're hanging their hats on. What a bunch of dopes. Immigration and tariff, spooking people about tariffs and the stock market. Anything they can use. Due process. So I got some clips of that interview. He did an interview with a insufferable twerp. I forget his name, but I'll put it up. Some clips, if I could figure out which ones are which. And he also met, once again, with Gretchen Whitmer. Remember this? She was ashamed to show her face at the White House. There she is, hiding her face. Look at the other two people in the picture. Some odd look. What are they? Aides to the governor. So she was definitely up there sucking up to Donald Trump to save that base. And she was on the tarmac. Let me get that. This isn't a picture where she hugged him, but she did give him a hug. And she met him. And she also joined him under the hangar there at the saved base, the preserved base. I want to play that clip of her if I can find it. Because you can read her body language. She's acting kind of dopey and like she doesn't want to be there. And you all will be my witness. You'll see at the last minute, she almost thanks Donald Trump, but then she doesn't. Is this one clip? I don't know. Let me see. At the last second, she thinks of some other words. Let me see. She thinks of some other words to say besides "Thank you, Donald Trump." You could see her walk up and look back, and when she walks up to the podium, oh, I wasn't planning on making any comments. And then she said, I am so glad for that this announcement happened. Not that she's so glad that Donald Trump worked with her. I'm not sure if this is a clip or not. Let me see. Did you see the hesitancy in the walk away from the crowd? Now watch how awkward she is. And at the very end, she gets out of thanking Donald Trump. She comes up with some stupid words. And look at Trump's face when she walks away.
I hadn't planned to speak, but I'm on behalf of all the military men and women who serve our country and serve so honorably on behalf of the state of Michigan. I am really damn happy we're here to celebrate this recapitalization at Selfridge. It's crucial for the Michigan economy. It's crucial for the men and women here, for our homeland security and our future. So thank you. I'm so grateful that this announcement was made today, and I appreciate all the work. Thank you.
I'm so grateful that this announcement happened. Didn't say hello to Trump or welcome everybody or nothing. Yeah, he's watching her. He's watching her. It's weird. I don't know what's playing through there, but if she's smart, she'll be coughing up some names on the FBI who put together that kidnapping hoax. I did a video on that too. This is what vitriol does. Speaking with vitriol. Here's somebody, he says, I can't believe my food delivery driver did that to my signs.
Delivery.
Can you believe that petulance? Petulance. Where does he get off? Where does this little dope get off? And that is being drummed up. Being drummed up by the usual suspects. Here's a clip I had that I didn't get to play about a Pritzker, where the term secessionist is used, where they say, what do you think about him saying Republicans won't be able to find peace? He says it's incitement of violence and secessionist talk.
Stephen, Illinois Governor Pritzker just called for mass protests and disruption, saying Republicans cannot know peace, while Trump's border crossings are down 95% and ICE is locking up 800 criminals. Is Pritzker inciting insurrection, and will DOJ take action?
Well, what I would say is that his comments, if nothing else, clearly could be construed as inciting violence. So President Trump survived 2 assassination attempts against his life. Of course, there's been many more credible threats against President Trump and his family and associates. We've, of course, seen the spate of left-wing domestic terrorism all across this country. By the way, the destruction of property sits directly adjacent to attacks on humans and physical attacks. In other words, once you tolerate and once you allow for attacks on property, you're just a step away from people throwing Molotov cocktails into people's homes. And you've even seen some, I think one example of a formerly prominent Washington Post journalist who seemed to be celebrating the murder of a healthcare CEO, right? Health insurance CEO. And that's the point we've reached in this country, where people are engaging in rhetoric and behavior that puts the lives of public servants in danger, puts the lives of conservative Americans in danger. And so that's the first thing I would say. And then, of course, secondly, right, just this war that Democrat governors and mayors are waging against federal law enforcement. I mean, this is nullificationist behavior. This is secessionist behavior. Where they're saying they don't recognize the supremacy of federal law enforcement in terms of protecting the lives and livelihoods of American citizens against a foreign invasion. We've never seen anything like it. And of course, the result of their conduct is that they're allowing illegal aliens to go free and rape and murder their own citizens. So I can't imagine having a leader in a city or a state that would privilege the well-being of illegal alien murderers over their own citizens, but that's where we are right now.
Yeah, put the welfare of those people over their own citizens. And he talked about how Washington Post glorifying Luigi Mangione. I don't know, Dor, if it was in California or where it was. But I know one thing, that person should be trusted with other people's food. I mean, what kind of job can somebody like that do with that kind of a temperament? You don't want them around your dogs, much less your kids or handling your food. An uncivil society is what they're hammering away at. Anarchy. Look at this. What somebody put out on the road. The Tony Michaels podcast, which I said the other week, just popped up out of the ground. Fight back. You know what's sad? I see an American flag on someone else's house or vehicle and immediately assume the worst. What the hell are you talking about? So you can what? Vandalize a property because you think the worst of them? What kind of country are we allowing this media to foment? What kind of attitudes are we allowed to foment? That's why I played that clip about that guy talking about Biden. All of them covering up Biden. No, we don't trust you. The problem is too many people do trust you. But we're going to get the truth out and erode that trust. I'm just looking through the comments. Hi, Linda. Nice to see you. Yeah, Gretchen faked it. She faked it, and we're going to see what happens with that. I got clips of this nitwit here. I heard that something's going to pop up about him. Something's going to pop up about this guy who filed articles of impeachment against Trump. It's going nowhere. It's a joke. I'll play this whole video where he said, 1, he did this, 2, he did that. But anyway, what is he jabbering here? Can you all understand what he's jabbering? We have really got to look at whether or not we want foreign-born people to be elected to Congress. Or at least there has to be a certain period of years. I'm talking 20 years of citizenship. Remember I said 10 years is kind of a probationary period, even after you get your citizenship granted. Now it's a higher standard of your actions that can cause you to have your citizenship stripped from you. But anyway, what's this idiot talking about?
Talk about the current issues. People are frustrated, people are angry, people are fearful about what's happening with the cuts in Washington, D.C., the tariffs.
I understood the donkey better than I did him. Fear-mongering is exactly what he was doing. Fear-mongering. Here's a meme I was talking about the other night. Get a shot of that and put it on your Meta. Yes, Mr. Donald Trump, sir, you are being impeached. To avoid this, you will need to purchase iTunes gift cards. I'm sorry, but I think this sounds like a scam call. Ha ha. Where is that video of him babbling? His impeachment notice. If I come across it, I'll play it. It's one of the black screened videos. I can't stand those. Maybe it's not. Wait a minute. Where are you at? Where are you? Well, I'll get to it. I got a couple of weird clips. Remember I was warning y'all? Well, I didn't. I don't need to warn you all about having non-citizens be police officers. Remember that? Put the word out to your friends. We don't want that. Here's a good example why. Right here. Whoa. Let me get that. Did you all hear about this? Now, Dory, this was California. I believe. If you're still with me, Dory, this is in California, and you'll know exactly where. Maybe you heard of this situation. So listen up, everybody. Don't fall asleep. This is important business.
Last week, Redwood City Police arrested Gomes at the Belmont Police Headquarters on Penal Code 261A1, rape of someone who was incapable of giving legal consent due to a mental disorder. Before he hired Gomes, the I-Team has learned that Chief Stenquist received phone calls from the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office and East Palo Alto Police warning him that both agencies had rejected Gomes because of his domestic violence arrest in 2017.
When a department head calls you and says something's wrong, take a closer look, or don't hire someone, you should take a closer look.
Court records show that Gomes and his wife were on vacation from their home in Brazil at this Ramada Inn in Kissimmee, Florida. The charging affidavit says they'd been married a year when Gomes spotted texts on his wife's cell phone from an ex-boyfriend and that he struck her repeatedly in the face and stomach. An officer wrote that he observed a large bruise that covered most of his wife's left cheek and scratches to her right cheek. The records say Gomes accused her of hitting and scratching him first, so the state attorney charged both of them with battery domestic violence before dropping the charges a month later. Belmont Chief Stenquist defended hiring Gomes, emailing me, past law enforcement contact that does not result in charges are not disqualifying in of itself under policies or applicable law.
In these special victim domestic violence cases, often the charges are dropped. They're dropped because the victims have a change of heart, any number of reasons.
Former San Francisco police commander and head of recruitment Rich Correa tells me the incident should be disqualifying, even though the case was dropped.
You don't want someone who, in a family setting, violence is a place they can escalate to. You want just the opposite. You want natural de-escalators.
Law enforcement sources also tell me Felipe Gomes is not a U.S. citizen. SB 960, sponsored by former state senator Nancy Skinner, allows immigrants to be officers if they have a green card, visa, or permanent residency. Gomes is here on a work permit.
You must be a person who's legally authorized to work, so you have that legal paperwork. And in California, if this bill...
There, right there. There's your sign you're dealing with a nutcase. Look at that thing. She's got her purple shawl on. Remember that? Color Revolution purple? I'm not joking about that. But in this day and age...
bill passes, you would be able to be a sworn officer.
Governor Gavin Newsom signed the bill in September 2022. Rich Correa tells me a newly arrived immigrant has lots to learn about our system of justice and civil rights.
So you better make sure that you are hiring people that get the many nuances of the role of a police officer. There's no one else, as far as I know, in our entire society that carries a gun and has the authority to shoot you under certain circumstances.
Yeah, think about that. They can put a slug in you. And then what? Then what? No speaking. I don't understand. My culture's different. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, you pay attention to your local elections. You find out who is your representative in the state house. The state house. Who's running for attorney general? Okay, who's running to be the your town attorney or county attorney? Where do these people go to college? They said to me one time, I told you all this story. I looked at this one character and listened to what he had to say about a project I wanted to do, and he was talking like a loony liberal climate cult freak. And I said, where does this guy go to college? They wouldn't tell me. They said, that's confidential. Oh, so we can pay somebody a 5 or 6 figure salary. And they don't got to tell me where they went to college. They could be a Harvard Marxist or a Columbia or Yale Marxist. And it's none of my damn business, right? You just shut up and pay your taxes, right? Because you're getting overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. Look here. Listen to this one. This is in Florida, of all places. Florida. And they need to look and see about these people. What kind of activities have they been doing? What kind of groups have they been publicly supporting? And what's their status? And if they're supporting dangerous elements like Hezbollah or Hamas, get them out before it's too late.
We are buying these churches. We bought 3 churches so far, converted them to masjids, and now we have one we are buying with a school to make it, because we have to serve the same people. The people who were part of that community, one day they will be Muslims. So we'll make it into a masjid and an Islamic school for our children and their children, inshallah.
100 years ago, they invaded the Muslim world.
One day, they'll be Muslims. Who's he talking about? And then he talks about 100 years ago, they invaded the Muslim world. What is he talking, payback?
And they built missionary schools and destroyed Islamic schools and masjids. Today, we bring the favor back, turn their churches into masjids and their schools into Islamic schools. Bring the light of Islam to here. We're able to buy ready to go institutions that have been there for a long time, but they emptied out. And now it is time to be filled with Muslims, with reverts, converts. This is an election year, but we're not going to be happy with either candidate. We have to be happy when Islam becomes the best candidate for us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give Islam the victory in this country.
Okay. Wants Islam to have victory in the country. Ain't that something? Do you know David Horowitz passed away? David Horowitz, no wonder we haven't heard from him in a while. He had cancer and passed away. And day before yesterday, he passed. And I think it was Citizens Free Press put up a clip of David Horowitz. Hi, ourselves. How you doing? Pappy Two Bears is here. Nice to see you, Pappy. Hoodum's television shows. Nice to see you. So they're aware. They're aware of their speaking for this pro-Hamas stuff is enough to get them shipped out of the country. I don't know when this discussion with David Horowitz occurred. I know I haven't heard from him in a while. And like I just said, he passed away day before yesterday of cancer. So who knows how old this clip is? But even before Trump started what he's doing, enforcing what he's been enforcing, they knew they couldn't speak out for Hamas or block students from having class or take over libraries or start fires or promote disruptive demonstrations. They knew that. And you'll hear her say that much. But anyway, let me, in a little tribute to David Horowitz, I will play this clip where he engages with this individual, in my opinion, should be on a plane back to our own country, just for this clip.
Just if you could clarify.
Okay. Will you condemn Hamas here and now?
I'm sorry, what?
Will you condemn Hamas?
Would I condemn Hamas?
As a terrorist genocidal organization?
Are you asking me to put myself on a cross?
So you won't. I actually have had this experience many times. You didn't read the pamphlet because the pamphlet is chapter and verse. The main connection is that the MSA is part of the Muslim Brotherhood network as revealed in the documents.
I don't think you understood what I meant by that. I meant if I say something, I'm sure that I will be arrested for reasons of Homeland Security. So if you could please just answer my question.
If you condemn Hamas, Homeland Security will arrest you.
If I support Hamas, because your question forces me to condemn Hamas. If I support Hamas, I look really bad.
If you won't condemn Hamas, obviously you support it. Case closed. I have had this experience, I had this experience at UC Santa Barbara where there were 50 members of the Muslim Students Association sitting right in the rows there. And throughout my hour talk, I kept asking them, will you condemn Hezbollah and Hamas? And none of them would. And then when the question period came, the president of the Muslim Students Association was the first person to ask questions. And I said, before you start, will you condemn Hezbollah? And he said, well, that question is too complicated for a yes-no answer. So I said, okay, I'll put it to you this way. I'm a Jew. The head of Hezbollah has said that he hopes that we will gather in Israel so he doesn't have to hunt us down globally. For it or against it?
For it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and showing everybody what's here. And you're wearing a terrorist neckerchief.
If you understood...
you didn't hear the lady.
Could you please answer my question?
You don't get to make a speech. Yes, sir.
Yeah, she should be deported now. What do you call it, a neckerchief? She's wearing a neckerchief. There she's telling him that she just as soon see him done away with. And I'm sure she's celebrating the fact that he's passed away from cancer. Horrible, horrible. You guys sticking with me, I hope? Oh, by the way, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Helps the video get around. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Well, we got some more wacko judges. Letting people like this with that mentality out on the streets. This is a moron who was supposedly tricked into coming for a final interview before his being granted citizenship. That doesn't mean he was going to get it that day. He was going to be interviewed. And ICE picked him up because he was promulgating Hamas, Hezbollah, whatever, talking points and dealing with the people that were disruptive on campuses at Columbia University. But anyway, here's what this California, Dory, Eastern District of California, she has trouble getting the words out. But here's what this judge is the change she's trying to put on ICE.
All right, another judicial pushback against President Trump's immigration crackdown. This comes after dozens were arrested in January during Border Patrol's Operation Return to Sender, where agents rounded up people determined to have entered who were determined to have entered the country illegally. Yesterday, California District Judge Jennifer Thurston demanded CBP agents cannot arrest suspected illegal migrants without a warrant or reason to believe the person is a flight risk before they can get one.
Now, what's her story? I didn't get to look her up. But I heard a lot of these judges haven't even practiced law. Maybe they were clerking for somebody else, or they're just hurried up nominees getting shoved in positions. And this is the guy right here. Well, I don't think I got his, yeah, I did get his picture right here. I didn't think I had his picture. This is when they snatched him up. Remember? Detained Columbia student. That's the way they describe it. This is a detained Columbia student. Mohsin Mahdawi. He's been ordered out by the Secretary of State. His student visa is finished because of his behaviors and because it's set to expire anyway. He's persona non grata, and that is a plenary power of the Secretary of State and the President of the United States. If they feel that somebody's not acting in the best interests of the country or contrary to foreign policy of the United States to harm America domestically and in the country's foreign policy. This judge feels, I can decide that he should be set free. Right after he's let loose by this lunatic judge, he taunts Trump. Taunts the President of the United States. I'm not afraid of you, Columbia student says. And just like the call scammer, I played the short video of him with the donkey. Behind him was a mural of Martin Luther King. This same character here, Mahdawi, or whatever his name is, Mahdawi, was quoting Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King wouldn't have anything to do with you disrupting college classes, denying students entry because of their religion. Shame on you. So anyway, shame on this individual for feeling that she has the power or authority to order around the Secretary of State and the President of the United States. So I'm sure this is being swiftly appealed. Swiftly appealed. And if Columbia University, they said he was remotely learning, and he's due to graduate. Let me tell you something. If they bestow a degree on him or allow him to continue these classes, I would make sure Columbia University paid a heavy price. Heavy price. And this judge is not qualified to be on the bench. Not qualified. In this atmosphere, with the current posture of what's happening to our country and the priorities that are being set by this administration being undermined and the vitriol being prodded on by these judges where they know damn good and well what they're doing. It just shows you, look, you already got one sitting in jail or went to jail and got a mugshot. You want to play around? Your job is not to play games like this moron here. She was in California, this nitwit here. Tell me that's not a nitwit. Appointed by Barack Hussein Obama. That one in Florida ordered ICE that they couldn't pick anybody up unless they had a warrant, and they couldn't get a warrant unless the person was a risk of flight. All this subjective garbage, unnecessary garbage. The person is evading ICE detention. They're here illegally. They're evading law enforcement. They don't need a warrant. They're after fugitives, alien fugitives. Well, this clown, Jeffrey William Crawford, this is a guy that ordered the release of the one I just had on the screen. I'm not afraid of you, Trump. This is the one that ordered that. The one in Florida ordered ICE not to arrest anybody unless they had a judicial warrant, and they couldn't get a warrant unless the person was all this crap. So we've got them peppered all around the country. We got them up in Vermont. We got them in Maine. We got them in Florida. We got them in California. We got them, of course, corrupt New York. We got them in Washington, D.C. Did you know Judge Chuck Kennedy wasn't even born in this country? The one who was saying, I'm not concerned about his campaign for president. I have the authority. Now, this bonehead, I don't know what his story is. He's a homegrown nitwit liberal who let a person who has been determined by the State Department to be an undesirable, he just let him walk. Here's a chart of how many of them got in. Inadmissible aliens. That means people that have criminal records, people that have severe mental illnesses and criminal records. This is how many got in from 2022 to 2024. Trump said the same thing as Tom Homan. 20 or 21 million have gotten in this country. Let me play some of those clips. Here's where the education part comes in, folks. This is, well, poll, right? But still, it's a huge number. Federal district judges challenging President Trump on certain policies are legitimately exercising power, nearly 60%. People are not educated to the fact that we have Marxists that have infiltrated the judiciary. Otto Penn Joe put in over 200 federal judges, 230 some, 38 maybe, I can't remember. I'm more important than Kamala, aren't I, Debbie? Ha, ha, ha. Hi, Colette. How you doing? So we've got to educate these people that the judiciary, in its current condition, doesn't deserve the trust that the people are automatically giving them. And that's why this arrest of this judge is so important, and to show that she was treated like a criminal, because there are criminal judges. Two things happened, not just the 100-day celebration, but Trump signed an executive order telling sanctuary cities, you better get your act together, or there'll be prosecutions. That might be why Gretchen was acting all goofy and aloof. Warning shots. That was a warning shot. And these two judges that have been arrested is putting it out there to them that stuff isn't going to be tolerated. Now, let me see what kind of videos I've got here. Here's Bobby Kennedy. And You won't hear a peep out of the mainstream media. But what he says is big time. I mean, if it were the other way around, if they were talking about Republicans, this would be earth-shattering. He says that the Biden administration was complicit in human trafficking that resulted in the abuse of young people. He says it in his own words, but listen to him. Nobody said a peep.
We have ended HHS as the role as the vector, the principal vector in this country for child trafficking. And during the Biden administration, HHS became a collaborator in child trafficking and for sex and for slavery. And we have ended that, and we're very aggressively going out and trying to find these children, 300,000 children that were lost by the Biden administration.
Health and Human Services was a collaborator. A collaborator. But here's Hillary. Here's what she used to say about it. All these do-gooder, high-minded people saying Trump is a mean man.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
Yeah, all a big bunch of BS. Most of them that came over that didn't have criminal convictions were just coming for the gravy. They're coming for welfare checks. They're coming for food stamps. They're coming to hustle on the street and not contribute to the tax base. I've had this clip for a while, but I got a follow-up to it. You say, oh, I've heard this before. Yeah, but listen to it because I got a follow-up clip for this one.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
Yeah, throw your wig in the wash machine and get a life. But anyway, here's what's going on. They're not coming here to go work in the fields and do jobs we won't do.
You're looking at some of the most expensive zip codes in the world. This is Tribeca and Soho, which have been completely consumed by illegal immigrants selling counterfeit goods, which coincidentally cost the global economy $500 billion a year. But this is what utopia looks like to Democrats. Thanks to one-party Democrat rule here in New York City, New York City Mayor Eric Adams and a radical New York City Council have encouraged lawlessness. A median cost of an apartment in Tribeca is $3.95 million, and the median cost of an apartment in Soho is $4.25 million. No environmentalists are here complaining about the litter. It's very difficult to walk, and these businesses here actually have to report to the IRS, but not the illegal immigrants selling counterfeit goods. Taxpayers get screwed every which way.
Yeah, walking, and there they all are, selling their wares. You know how I've talked about how many grown men that aren't supposed to be in this country are living with women that are on housing assistance, not supposed to have people living with them. bringing in money. They keep it quiet. It's millions of them, and we're all paying for it. So anyway, let's see. This is an old report I had. What's this? AG Pam Bondi rescinded Biden-era Justice Department policies that largely shielded journalists' records from federal investigators on Friday, signaling a more aggressive approach toward leak prosecutions. But people say, oh, it's going to affect freedom of the press. I've said before, what they did to Catherine Herridge, what Adam Schiff did to Devin Nunes and journalists working with Devin Nunes, eavesdropped on their phones. Here's what Adam Schiff is coming up with to get the liberals to love him more. Right? Do you think he's going to bring up anything about the explosion of migrant crimes? People with blades or bike locks or people that shouldn't be in this country anyway owning weapons? No, he wants to do something that will take weapons away from everybody that's American. If you don't even know they're in this country, if they're evading detection, how are you going to tell them what they can own, not own? But American citizens, law-abiding citizens, you go bang on their door, right?
Today I will be introducing the assault weapons ban of 2025, a bill that would ban the sale, manufacture, import, and transfer of military-style assault weapons. Since 2006, there have been 486 mass shootings involving assault weapons. Hundreds and hundreds of Americans have been killed in these mass shootings. This bill is a way to attack that massive threat to our safety and security. Dianne Feinstein introduced the first assault weapons ban 31 years ago after a school shooting in Stockton, California. For 10 years, that bill had a dramatic impact on mass shootings and mass casualties. But when that expired, mass fatalities and gun shootings went up by 236%. The impact was that dramatic. It's time to pass an assault weapons ban again. It's time to protect our communities from senseless gun violence. It's time to bring back that powerful common sense reform again. It's time for the assault weapons ban of 2020.
Watermelon head, pencil neck is using terms like common sense and everything the crazy cat ladies, holier than thou, do-gooder, bleeding hearts can grab hold of to justify. Excuse my terminology, but justify using the bathroom on their fellow citizens, their constitutional rights. They love to play games like that. Whoa. There we go. My screen froze up. Yeah, they love to play games. Here's Tim Walsh admitting the only reason Kamala picked him was because he could get white guys for Harris, right? Because he's such a macho guy with guns and trucks and football. When he talked about that stuff, he was a damn joke. He still believes he is some kind of attraction to people that actually have calluses on their hands or have worked a damn hard day in the sun. Boy.
I knew I was on the ticket I would argue because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota that improved people's lives. But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, you know, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough.
A DEI hire. That's what he was. A DEI hire. How'd that work out for you, Tim Cat? Tampon Tim? You know, a lot of people interpret this clip of Michelle Obama differently. Let me see if I got it on Citizens Free Press. I'll read it to you. And then I'll play you the clip. I don't know. I might not have it. I got the clip, but not the explanation. And we all know Obama is Muslim, right? Everybody knows that. Well, I got to show you this one. There we go. Europe promises to get electricity back up ASAP so everyone can hear Muslim calls for prayer. Ha ha ha. But I don't know where it went. Citizens Free Press said that she said she thought it was great that this guy was taken on raising a trans child. She thought it was great as a black man herself. Do you get that? Do you get that from this clip too? Let me play it for you. Hold on.
Wanted to talk, Marlon, a bit about, just so proud of how you are being a role model for dealing with a child that's transgender.
Absolutely.
And that's, that warms my heart, particularly as a black man. Would you care to share that journey of?
Well, I
sure sounded like it to me. Did y'all catch that? Well, she can explain it, or he, she, or whatever. Where's that? I got that clip where Trump misgendered a protester. So maybe one of them black clips that I can't see what it is until I play it. I can't stand that. But anyway, here's some Dan Scavino posted yesterday. Damn SH0T. How come that won't expand? I'm sure you guys got a clip of that to put on your meta page. We know what side they're on, damn SH0T. Might as well show you this one. Breaking. Breitbart says, a look at the data from Illinois public schools from 2024 finds not a single child rated proficient in math in 80 schools. So let's throw these millions and billions of dollars at all these people who have no business being in this country. Let's have all these judges bend over backwards for people that shouldn't even be here, and we got kids that can't even do math. We got kids that can't spell. We got kids that don't know what gender they are. We got teachers that can't spell. Oh, this is that notice. This delicate flower on the right. This is that notice she put up prior to all the brouhaha with her escorting that guy out a secret way, she put this note on the courthouse. If any attorney, witness coordinator, or other court official knows or believes that a person feels unsafe coming to the courthouse. Why would you feel unsafe coming to the courthouse? She doesn't say why. To courtroom 615, please notify the branch 31 clerk to request court appearance via Zoom. Code words. If you feel like you're going to get your rear end locked up, we'll just do by Zoom from an undisclosed location. And if I got to find you innocent, or I put you on a deferred sentence or probation, whereas a regular citizen, I would throw you in jail. But I would give you special treatment, make sure ICE doesn't get their hands on you. But regular citizens, forget it. Here's something very interesting. Today, Citizens Free Press posted this. New FBI agents photographed kneeling during George Floyd protests have been removed from their positions. CNN. I think that one on the right, their knee just gave out. I think it was just a little too much to ask to stand there in full gear. But what do I know? Dan Scavino put this up too. I didn't get the clip because it plays the music and shows Trump dancing. Dan Scavino walking in today 101 like, and there you had Mr. T doing the dance. Young man, are you listening to me? So anyway, yeah, he was in a good mood today and yesterday. Let me show you what kind of games they play. NPR. I had a video about public radio. I guess I'll play it when I get to it. But about cutting their funding. But they put a goofball article up. This is it right here. NPR. There it is at the top. See it? More give Trump an F than any other grade for the first 100 days poll finds. So we already know that these other poll companies got busted for putting up phony polls. But look at the game they're playing here. You got A, you got B, you got C, you got D, you got E, you got F. What if you give the poll to more people that hate Trump than are ambivalent or like him? There's 6 different things they could choose. People can say B, people can say A. Did they put A plus, B plus, B minus to water and just a big F at the bottom? See how they play these games? And you get these smooth-brained liberals and like this thing on the right going, oh, see, the poll says, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm going to talk about that real quick, about the election in Canada. The bottom line is, the facts of the matter are, there was an election. This Pierre Poilievre was way ahead. They called a snap election because Justin Trudeau had been in power for 10 flipping years. 10 years. And they called a snap election because they thought there was something wrong with the leadership and the people needed to address it. Well, what happens? The same leadership is in place. Ain't that something? This Pierre Poilievre guy that lost was up like 20-some points. Then he got all lippy about Trump. Mean to Trump. Because this other guy couldn't stand Trump either. He thought that was a better sell. And he plunged. But the race was really close. And then something happened, right? With the election center, computers and stuff, they were all locked out of it. Oh, we're doing our best. We'll get it all. Oh, now it's working. Oh, look. A big win. A big win for the New World Order. I'm not saying nothing except what happened. That's what happened, isn't it? Here's his son. Now, I don't know. Well, you tell me. It's fuzzy, but I'll make it big enough to read. Canada is so, whatever. Mark Carney's kid is another member of the new aristocracy who demands we mortals refer to her with they, them pronouns. This is somebody, the Rainbow Coalition. Sasha Carney, 24, went to Yale University. Wow! And uses they, them pronouns. That's running Canada. So I guess Carney hadn't got to worry about grandkids. What is it with these people? What is it? Right here. Anybody know who this is? Anybody know who this is? Or what this is? Only the hairdresser knows for sure. Remember that saying? They say, do they color their hair? Do they color their hair? Only the hairdresser knows for sure. I think a lot more people than the hairdresser know. Excuse me while I have a sip of my coffee while you figure out who this is. Boy, that was good. I got a link in the description for Buy Me a Coffee. Anybody wants to help support the channel, I've got a link in the description. And I'm not monetized with YouTube. I'm totally supported by viewers, and I appreciate it very much. Anybody, and I got a link in the description in the Rumble broadcasts also. If anybody wants to help the channel out, it is greatly appreciated. And this week I thanked Angela, Wayne, and Gary for helping out. This is Robert De Niro's son. Ha ha, Benjamin said, sea creature? Meghan Markle? I should have gave you all a little bit more time. Robert De Niro's son. I had a video where I could have played where this person was promoting themselves, but I can't take it. It makes me nauseous. And I have the right to be, to feel that something is repugnant to me, okay? When I smell a bad smell, I got the right to wrinkle my nose, right? Or take my finger and pinch my nose shut when something stinks. Or if I take a bite of food and it's really hot and spicy, I can spit it out, right? So no, I didn't want to copy that recording of this person talking about how glorious their life is. But that is Robert De Niro's son. What is it with this stuff? I have got a post. I wonder if I still got it in the studio. From Robert De Niro about Donald Trump. What is it with these flipping people? They're out of their daggone minds. I wonder if I took it out of here because I was sick of looking at it. I didn't have a good opportunity to put it up because it's nothing but foul-mouthed and degrading. Of course, here he is. I still got it. Occupy Democrats. Another formerly USAID-funded operation. Who knows how they get their money now? Hit the subscribe to our channel if you stand with Robert De Niro against Trump. Donald Trump is a monster. He's a mean, nasty person, an a sociopath, a psychopathic, malignant narcissist. Hit the like button if you stand with De Niro against Trump. What is the matter with these people? It's patently obvious that they have been ripping us off. All these countries, we've been financing the world. We have been going to work and getting our money trimmed out of our paychecks and handed around all over the world for decades. I got ripped off. You all got ripped off. My parents got ripped off. My grandparents got ripped off. And my great-grandparents for a time. Here's dopey David Pakman. I brought him up before. I've been told not to leave the country. I find that hard to believe. But they're always victims. They always act like Trump's going to do something to them. Here's dopey David Pakman again. Wonder if you're going to get sued. Maybe that's why you got to stay. David Pakman Show. Alcohol fears explode over Hegseth's bizarre appearance. What the hell is he talking about? He puts his Pete drunk. You just saw that picture of David Pakman. Which one looks more bizarre? He's got a lot of room to talk. He's got a lopsided look in the head. Got makeup on to cover up the fact that he's got some kind of acquired, what do they call it, immune and then deficiency. Pete Hegg says he can do 100 push-ups. David can't do one unless they're like girl push-ups. You know, we get on your knees, and which is another thing he's probably proficient at. Here is a clip from some leader in South Africa. Trump is going to have to. Trump is good. I'm not going to tell him what he's got. He knows what he's going to do with South Africa. But anyway, listen to this guy. Can you believe this is coming out of a human being?
I'm willing to condemn murder, more than willing, but not of white people. I'm not going to play in the hands of white supremacists.
Yeah, he doesn't care about Whitey. That's what he said. Holy cow, I went way down to my studio. This, let's see, this is in, I believe, France? No, this is in Barcelona. Barcelona. These are the Pakistanis and the Indians in a European country. You know, Pakistan and India are bopping each other back and forth and threatening all kinds of stuff going on. So they're migrants in another country, and this is how they're behaving over conflict thousands of miles away, when they're supposed to be assimilating. You nitwits have better put your foot down and get these people out. Send them back. If they're that wanting to stand up for their own country and be on the verge of fighting in the streets or screaming and yelling all day long, they don't belong. They belong back in their own country defending it. Let's see. I got these interviews. Let me see. Oh my gosh. This one here. Now, y'all, I'm going to give you a language warning. I'm going to give you all a language warning. I haven't got a way to blurt this stuff out. But this is an American citizen, okay, that was concerned about their rights. And so they moved to Ghana, of all places. I had a friend of mine. He said, I'm going to Ghana. That's where it's at for black people, not this country. I'm like, what are you talking about? You got plenty of money. You got a nice car. Yeah, I'm your friend. I'm as white as they come. And he said, well, it's just, just get with my roots, my African roots. I don't think he ever went. I think he was just talking. And I said, well, whatever. So this woman here went to Ghana. Now she's stuck. I'm just wondering how she gets money every month. But anyway, language warning and a little lesson for anybody who wants to go to sub-Saharan Africa to find their roots.
But y'all, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit bribery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit, what's that shit called that be coming down? Bullshit lizards. The bullshit animals, it's scorpions outside the house, it's big ass spiders, it's big ass lizards, colorful lizards you ain't never seen before, all in the fucking room with you, sleeping with you. All the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich, so they trying to get more money off of you. I'm wrap my head around this shit.
They think you're rich, and I'm not saying this as a joke. It's true. In a lot of these impoverished countries, you maintain that kind of weight, they think you're rich. If they had to fill out financial statements, they would be writing down how many goats they have, how many quarts of goat milk, and shoes, things like that. That would be on their financial statement. They don't have cars. They don't have nothing. And she said, well, I ain't got no snacks. What do you think? You're where you're at. I hope you stay myself. At least see you slender up a little bit. But anyway, that's why they think she's rich. And that's no joke. People can't afford to get heavy.
I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below. Because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be. And I'm going to go out to Africa and make shit happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office, and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America. Steady electricity. And the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill. And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity. So if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing, and it comes right back on in 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. This shit right here didn't come on for 14 hours yesterday. I can't deal. I love the people. Don't get me wrong. When I'm outside, I'm having fun. I love the people. But when I come back to reality, when you come back home, home is where the heart is, right? When you come back home, you're supposed to feel comfortable. You're supposed to be happy. I'm not happy. To live in a house where you look outside and all you see is turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheeps and old malnourished cows.
Yeah, I left that off. Chickens and sheep, yeah, that'd be on their financial statement too. But you notice at the beginning, she said she was sick of the bribes. That's one of the first things she said. And let me tell you something. You talk about how much justice can you afford? That, when you get down in Mexico, I've heard stories, I'll say. You know, you want your plane to take off, you better have a bribe. You better have a bribe if you want to get anything done. And I'm thinking, unfortunately for this person, you want any authority to travel or do what you want to do, you're going to have to grease some palms. That's just a fact of life down that way. So I'm sorry for you that you left. And I think it's going to be hard getting back. I think this is one of those interviews with that arrogant nitwit. What's his name? I don't even know his name. Boy, he is so condescending. You could tell Donald Trump would just want to tell him, look, get the hell out of my office. I'm a busy man. But he put up with this nitwit. Here's one clip.
The fighting. Don't forget. You think he wants peace? You think Vladimir Putin wants peace? I think he does, yes. I think he does. I think because even with the raining missiles I think he really, his dream was to take over the whole country. I think because of me, he's not going to do that. Do you trust him? Do you trust him? I don't trust you. I don't trust a lot of people. I don't trust you. Look at you. You come in all shooting for bear. You're so happy to do the interview. I am happy. And then you start hitting me with fake questions. You start telling me that a guy whose hand is covered with a tattoo doesn't have the tattoo. You know. All right. I mean, you're being dishonest. No, I'm not. Let me just tell you, do I trust? I don't trust a lot of people, but I do think this. I think that let's say he respects me. And I believe because of me, he's not going to take over the whole. But his decision, his choice would be to take over all of Ukraine. Okay. It's a war that never should have happened.
Yeah, he wasn't treating him too bad. But let's see this other clip. They're scattered clips. Let me kind of gather them all together here. Whoa! What happened? Where'd you go? Here we go. Here we go. This is another one with Mr. Snotrag.
Do you think the reputation of the United States has gone down under your presidency? No, I think it's gone way up, and I think we're a respected country again. We were laughed at all over the world. We had a president that couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, couldn't walk down a flight of stairs, couldn't walk across a stage without falling. We had a president that was grossly incompetent. You knew it, I knew it, and everybody knew it, but you guys didn't want to write it because you're fake news. All right. Thank you.
And by the way, ABC is one of the worst. I have to be honest with you.
Ha ha ha! You're fake news. Isn't he a weird looking? He'll say something, then he'll pause. Hasn't the presidency's respect gone down under your presidency? With a plastic looking dopey face, a know-it-all face. And I won't say what I want to say about that face. But here, let's see. This is another one. I'm not sure. Let me see. Another black screen. I would have to go in there and clip and edit, do all kinds of crap to this thing, figure out which one it is. But anyway, let me see what we got here.
We're taking back our country.
No, that's Mr. T. I liked it. I was going to use this in the intro. But since I got it up, I was going to use it in a future intro because he's talking about getting rid of communists. Taken back from the creepos and communists.
Country from a sick political class that got rich selling America out and bleeding America dry. We don't let that happen anymore. And we had 4 great years. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. The stock market went up 88%. We did great. And we're going to do better now, because now we learned a little bit. After years of leaders who sent your money to defend the borders of distant foreign nations, that's what we did. We'd fight for other nations, but not for ourselves. You finally have a president who is defending our borders and our nation. After decades of politicians who destroyed Detroit to build up Beijing, you finally have a champion for workers in the White House, and instead of putting China first, I'm putting Michigan first, and I'm putting America first.
No, Aristotle, I don't think he'll get another chance to interview Trump. That's a highlight of his career. And as far as I'm concerned, he blew it. That's the biggest day he'll ever have. Biggest day he'll ever have. Let me see. This might be another one. Yeah, this is one. I could see the background. Let's see. ABC News exclusive. And you blew it, you nitwit. Let me cut my mic off.
One question about Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. There's a lot of turmoil at the Pentagon right now. There's the signal chat with his wife on it where he's discussing that attack in Yemen. There's another signal chat discussing the attack on Yemen. There's a reporter accidentally involved. You said the other day that you had a talk with the secretary. Did you take him to the woodshed?
I had a talk with him.
Whatever I said.
Did you take him behind the woodshed? What a loaded question. And still talk about this dopey signal chat that didn't amount to a hill of beans. But anyway, Trump is, he's getting his number. He's seen where he's coming from.
Said I probably wouldn't be inclined to tell you, but we had a good talk. He's a talented guy. He's young, he's smart, highly educated. And I think he's going to be a very good hopefully a great defense secretary, but he'll be a very good defense secretary.
You have 100% confidence in
I
Pete
don't have
Hegseth.
100% confidence in anything. Okay? Anything. Do I have 100%? It's a stupid question. Look.
It's a pretty important position.
No. You don't have 100%. Only a liar would say I have 100% confidence. I don't have 100% confidence that we're going to finish this interview.
We will.
Did you see that? We will. He said, I don't have 100% confidence we'll finish this interview. We will. Yeah. What's the last one you're going to do? And if he does step in there with Trump again, Trump will, now that he's really got his number, he'll go ahead and jerk a knot in his eye before he knows what's happened to him. I got no idea what this clip is. Let me start it for a second, see. what this is. A venture. Here we go again. I mean, I've never heard of the guy. He's no spring chicken. I don't know where he came from, but you know, they train him how to make an interviewee look bad. And these questions are gone over by high-level operatives working for the deep state, people that are trained in illegal psychological warfare campaigns. And Trump still slapped him around.
On to immigration, and as you said, it is an undeniable fact that illegal crossings at the southern border have plummeted, a staggering decline. But there are questions about your methods. And so I want to ask
About my message?
methods, about your methods, how you're accomplishing
They seem to
this.
work.
Do you acknowledge that under our law, every single person who gets deported gets a hearing first to make their case?
Well, are we talking about people that are citizens of our country or not?
No, you aren't deporting citizens at this point.
Well, let me ask you, did they get hearings when Biden allowed 21 million, because I think the number is 20 million people to flow into our country? You had 21 million people that came into our country through a stupid open border, and they were prisoners, and they were people that you don't want in many cases in our country, right? They came from all over the world. They came from the Congo. They came from South. They came from all over the world. We're talking about some of the roughest countries in the world they had here, including terrorists, by the way. Now,
but
did we give them a hearing when they came in?
Well, the law requires
Every single person who is going to
Now listen to this idiot. The law requires that every single person get due process. So all the smooth brains that are listening to this guy think that everybody gets an O.J. Simpson style trial or a F. Lee Bailey and all this kind of stuff, when due process is a fair determination of your right to be in this country. And if the answer is no, you don't have the right to be in this country, you leave. It's that simple. It doesn't matter if you just got a new job. It doesn't matter if you just married an American woman down the street, or none of that matters. A fair determination of whether or not your presence is legal. And if the answer is no, it's not legal presence, you get shipped out. But he'll pound this in for the smooth brains who think everybody gets these drawn out trials.
to be deported gets a hearing first.
Well,
do you acknowledge that?
I'll have to ask the lawyers about that. All I can say is this. If you're going to have 21 million people, and if we have to get a lot of them out because they're criminals, we're going to have to act fast. We can't. Do you think we can give 21 million trials? Let's say each trial takes 2 weeks. Is that what you want us to do?
The law
give
is
21
the law,
million?
sir. The law is the law, and you're
The law
sworn
doesn't
to
say anything
uphold it.
about trials.
No, not trials, hearings. I said
These
hearings.
people came in, they're not citizens. They came in illegally. They came into our country illegally.
And
We
there's-
have to get them out.
There's a legal process for that.
I can't, sure, and we follow the legal process. I can't have a trial, a major trial for
saying
every
major.
person that came in illegally. We have thousands of murderers that came in. They're going to murder people. They already have murdered people in our country.
Right, so
we have to get them out,
They're
and we have to
bad
get them
guys,
out fast.
Really bad guys, but in our country, even bad guys get due process, right?
If people come into our country illegally, there's a different standard. These are illegal. They came in illegally.
But they get due process.
Well, they get a process where we have to get them out. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Venezuelans.
They get whatever my lawyers say.
Good answer at the end. They get whatever my lawyers say, because what they say is just what I was talking about earlier. Real simple process. It's not complicated. What the hell are you doing in this country, Pedro, or if they're wherever country they're from? It could be one of any 200 countries. So anyway, I don't even know what this clip is. Let me see. Oh. Remember I was talking about how they think of every word they say. Every word has meaning. And when you're dealing with somebody like John Bolton, he's been in the deep state forever. The swamp. Check out how he starts out this statement about Pete Hegseth, what he says. Then he'll go on for a few minutes. I'll play the whole clip, but see if you catch the message he sent to Pete Hegseth.
Do you believe Hegseth should still be on the job?
No, I think he should resign for his own safety's sake, if nothing else. This is a critical time for the American military. We understand the Trump administration will rightly propose enormous budget increases for defense. We need it. We need a secretary who can get the job done, not somebody who spends his time on Signal chat groups.
And just as someone who is a national security expert, the fact that it was happening on his personal cell phone, how much does that concern you, knowing that foreign adversaries often target top-level national security officials to get into their phones and put in spyware?
Yeah, I almost never used my personal phone when I was national security advisor. I mean, the breaches of security at risk in this conduct are enormous, and I think that's one reason why he shouldn't be in the.
Yeah, Todd got it. What he said at the very beginning. Now, they're not talking about the personnel situation. They're talking about all this Signal app and all that stuff. Why did he have to say he should get out for his own personal safety? What does his personal safety have to do? I'll play the first part of the clip real quick and you'll hear it.
Do you believe Hegseth should still be on the job?
No, I think he should resign for his own safety's sake, if nothing else. This is a
personal safety's sake, if nothing else. That's a message. I wouldn't mind seeing John Bolton sitting in a damn jail cell. Here's some twisted stuff right here about the media. The best presidential photo of 2024. What do you think it is, folks? This young man shows you how they play the media and play with people's brains.
And the photo of the year goes to the White House Correspondents Association gave out a 2024 award for excellence in presidential news coverage by a visual journalist. In other words, their photo of the year. Here is the photo that didn't win. Not sure if anyone remembers, but this was President Trump having just been shot on stage and in a heroic style rose to his feet, blood streaming down his face, fist in the air, telling the American people to continue the fight with the majesty of the waving American flag in the background, surrounded by Secret Service. That didn't win. No, instead, the winner was this photo of Joe Biden. I think he looks sad or something. So that's your photo of the year. Now, you may be wondering, well, since President Trump wasn't the president, was the first photo even eligible? Yes, because this photo was an honorable mention. I would like to submit this as evidence that the media, and in this case, the White House press corps, is made up of a bunch of morons.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Made up of a bunch of morons. But, yeah. Where did she get the personal phone business? You see how slick they are? You see how she brought a personal phone. And John Bolton said, I never brought my personal phone. So they can't say that Bolton accused Hegseth of bringing his personal phone, which he knows would be a lie. So the reporter does the dirty work. And his answer doesn't tie him into saying that about Pete Hegseth. He just says, I never brought my personal phone. Insinuating. Wrap up smear, remember? Hi, Greg, how you doing? Let's see. I'm just looking through the chats. Yeah, so that's how they play the game. Slander by proxy. Slander by proxy. Speaking of which, you know, they're in disarray. So much that to the point where you've got, what's his name? Lizardhead. You all know who I'm talking about. Let me get the clip. David Carville and David Hogg. And here they are on, I don't know who Tara Palmer is, but she's interviewing them. And Carville is pretty nasty to David Hogg.
And you said that members of the DNC should sue him for doing this, since David is a member of the party leadership. He is the vice chairman.
I think he's the vice chair.
Yeah, he's vice chair.
Let me be very specific. I think it is abominable that an official of a political party who is being paid or supported by that political party to go out and raise money to defeat members of the same party. I think that's a jackassery of the highest level.
James, can you tell me
if you want to beat Republicans, of which of course lefties never do, they never even run against them. That's one thing. I'm not into beating Democrats. I'm into beating Republicans. And I just will tell you right to your face, I think it's abominable that you have anything to do with the DNC and you're going to go and raise $20 million to beat other Democrats.
Yeah, he said, I don't go with people that want to defeat Democrats. I go with people that want to defeat Republicans. And he retracted that, if I could find it. He switched that to changing his mind. He said David Hogg called him up and said, gave him a historical comparison where, let me see if I can find it. They wanted Abraham Lincoln to get rid of General Grant after the battle in Shiloh. And Lincoln said, I can't get rid of him. He fights. And that's what I need. I need someone who fights. And Carville said, well, since you put it that way, I retract what I said and I'll stick with David Hogg. So they're all scrambled up. Yeah, let me see. I'm looking at the chats. Yeah, Greg, Alberta 51. I'm not familiar with all the different things in Canada, but I got a thumbnail here. I've talked about this guy that does videos. I called him Angry Ginger, but it's really Depressed Ginger. I got his name of his channel wrong. Depressed Ginger. He's talking about first step for Alberta succession creates referendum to leave Canada. Now, I got some people from Canada that visit this channel pretty regularly. Is that real? I mean, is that... And there you see the map. Let me make that bigger. I'm trying to see what's out. Oh, I see. I guess that's, you said Alberta 51. I guess that means all of Alberta, I reckon. But anyway, be nice to have a land bridge to Alaska. But what is that blue? What, we going to trade Alberta for California and Washington and Oregon? No, we won't go that far. But anyway, there's something going on, that's for sure. Boy, I got so much stuff in. I'm already past my time, way past my time. And I just want to show you this. And then I'm going to show you all a clip on the way out. Not this one. I just want to show you this clip. But the clip on the way out, I want you all to watch. A lot of times I'll play a clip and people will go ahead and sign off the channel and go look for something else. But for God's sake, watch this last clip I played. Not this one. When I tell you what it is. I mean, out of respect for humanity. And share it. But anyway, people better start paying attention. Remember the story I told about the Bolsheviks when they took over in Russia? And the movie Dr. Zhivago, what they did was they forced people to take families, they had no idea who they were, and had communal living. One family per room. And that was the atmosphere and the living arrangements Vladimir Putin grew up in. And his grandfather was an official in the Stalin administration. And so anyway, they turn your home into communal homes. Here they're doing it softly, okay? Pay attention to this video.
And I think we need some creative solutions for that. My family, we live in a community. There's 11 of us that live under one roof, 6 different families, no biological connection between many of us. And yet about, I think it's 8 million people in the UK live on their own. And with a program like the Homes for Ukraine program, many people were able to welcome a refugee into their home. And there are so many benefits to both us as hosts. It's actually bad for our mental health. We have worse health outcomes if we live on our own. So maybe we need to get creative and start being hospitable. That I know that.
Yeah. Plenty of 8 million people shouldn't have their own place to live. It's not healthy. You can take migrants in. That's the first step. Now I want to show you all this video for the way out. And this guy is pretty well known on the internet. He gets abused sometimes. And he says children cannot consent. Okay? And he wears this. And once in a while, you know, you'll see, well, here somebody approached him. And I thought, what in the world is going to happen to him now? I mean, I've seen him physically abused. I've seen him cursed. But anyway, I hope you all enjoy this clip. And I want to thank you all for spending your precious time with me here this evening. And the new people that have come in, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe for me. Hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. I appreciate it so much. Enjoy this clip. Like I say, share it and watch it for the sake of humanity. People that can't stand up for themselves. What's happened to thousands of people in this country? This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Yeah, come on in. What's your name?
My name's Clementine.
Nice to meet you.
I've actually seen your stuff online, and I'm a huge fan. I was on puberty blockers. I started when I was 12, and I was on testosterone from 14 to 17, and I got top surgery at 17. Totally messed my life up. So I just want to say you're doing a good thing.
Wow.
I can't believe people disagree with you on this. As a former child transitioner, I'm just appalled that people have anything to question you about. So I salute you.
I'm so sorry you had to go through all that. I'm glad you are through it now. Thank you so much for speaking up. That's extremely valuable because a lot of people are afraid to.
Yeah.
So Do you mind if we have a little conversation about it?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, come on in this way just a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hi.
So, your name again?
My name's Clementine.
Clementine. So Clementine went on puberty blockers at what age?
12.
And you detransitioned at?
I detransitioned earlier this year, actually, but I had been going off testosterone since about 17 because it gave me psychosis.
When did they put you on testosterone?
I was 13.
Wow. And when did you have a double mastectomy?
I had a double mastectomy at 14. I'm currently going through the process of getting reconstructive surgery, and it was harder to get that approved. I actually wasn't able to get it approved by my insurance.
Right.
But it was much harder to get surgery for that than it was to actually get the original top surgery procedure.
For everyone watching this who says this isn't happening, well, it happened to Clementine. At 14, a double mastectomy, puberty blockers at 12, testosterone at 13. How old are you now?
I'm 20 now. I just turned 20.